So guys, what's going on? It's just another day at the office for Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag as Manchester United beat Bournemouth by 3-0 at Old Trafford. 6 points from 6 from Wolves and Bournemouth. Manchester United are just going in one direction at the moment. Marcus Rashford at the end again scoring today, making it 4 goals in 4 straight games. Martinez made it on the pitch at the end, which is absolutely brilliant news. He got a mad reception today at the start. Diego Dallo made it on the pitch, and Casemiro even got a goal today as well. And even Luke Shaw, who's had 2 really good performances at centre-back, deserved the goal he got today, and it was a brilliant goal as well. And I'm just really loving watching this Manchester United team at the moment. It's absolutely brilliant. We move now 5 points ahead of Spurs in the table with a game in hand. Of course, Spurs play tomorrow as well, but this team at the moment is just so enjoyable to watch. Some of the play today from this Manchester United side is absolutely brilliant, and you're really seeing the benefit of bringing in a top class manager who's in control of everything, who's getting the best out of our key players, and is showing on the pitch today. Because even with that team we put out today, which when the lineup came out, I was a bit confused with the lineup. Maguire was in, Lindelof was in, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw at fullback, and I just thought about this and I was like, this is bringing back really bad memories, really bad flashbacks when we had that defence we had today on a regular. But overall, they did the job today. I thought our defence had a brilliant game. I think the midfield, Casemiro and Eriksen, creating that first goal together. It's absolutely brilliant to have 2 top-class midfielders who just know exactly what they're doing without being told to do anything, really. It's just that easy for them in the midfield. And then again, Marcus Rashford, as I said, absolutely on fire at the moment, getting another goal. He loves a goal against Bournemouth. He had to get in the act at the end, but, 5 points ahead of Spurs now, and it was crucial we got this win today. Even with the team we had, I was still confident we get the job done. Because as I said, 5 points above Spurs, but our next games, it's where it's going to get really, really tricky. Arsenal and then Manchester City as well. And Arsenal today dropped points, which meant Newcastle dropped points because they were playing each other. So even though results around us recently have gone all in our favour. Spurs have been dropping points, Chelsea have been dropping points, Liverpool have been dropping points, and we're just gaining on our opposition. And people would have said at the start of the season, there is no chance this Manchester United side are getting top 4 with the way we started the season. But I tell you what right now, if anyone is, we are. Because we look the favourites. We look a totally different team under Ten Hag. And, may have not had the start to the season we wanted, but the reaction from the players, the reaction from the manager to get his players welled up, to get his players playing how we are at the moment. Because as I've said previously, these type of games, we would have struggled big time. And that type of team there today gave me a bit of a scare. But overall, as I said, I was still confident we were going to get the job done. And, the goal from Luke Shaw was absolutely brilliant. The build-up play to it. It's all in Ten Hag. It's all in his philosophy. It's all in what he's trying to build at Manchester United and Old Trafford. And I just think all of us fans at the moment are loving what we are seeing. It's something we haven't seen in a very, very long time. A confident side with, world-class players performing at a top level. We may not have the depth we need, and it showed because our depth today was Maguire, Lindelof. I think Fred came on. Donny van de Beek was playing. He went off injured. So our depth is not good. It's not where I want to be. I want to be able to bring on world-class players as well. That's the level we need to get to. But overall, it was a good game in our favour. We were playing at home against Bournemouth, a very, very weak side who have been struggling recently. So I was happy to see us again just wipe the floor with them, dominate them for 90 minutes. They were involved in the game a bit. They had a good few chances, but De Gea was on top of his game today, making some crucial saves. And overall, I was just absolutely loving what I was seeing. And Casemiro, as I've said, getting on the score sheet as well with a brilliant goal, crossed in from Eriksen, just got a tap into it into the top corner. And that man can do absolutely everything on that football pitch. Best CDM in the league without a doubt, in my opinion. And overall, very, very happy with that, because now we've got a couple of cup games coming up, which I think you can rest the likes of Casemiro. You can get Lisandro Martinez and Dallo back up to full fitness, maybe playing them in 1 out of the 2 games. We have Charlton and Everton coming up, so it's good for them to come back from the World Cup and release their injuries and get a few minutes under their belt. And it's, rest Rashford, rest Bruno, rest players like that, because we are going to need them when we're playing against Arsenal. Because if we can get a result against Arsenal, that will put us closer to them as well. And I think we're 10 points away from them at the moment. And, you know, they're not going to be happy with the results tonight, but they will probably bounce back because they're playing some really good football. But again, that's going to be a very exciting game. And if we can get a result against them and then a result against City at the moment with the way we play it, I'm not scared at the moment. I'm not scared of anyone with how this team is progressing, how this team is playing at the moment. And Ten Hag has full confidence in this side. Whoever he puts on the pitch is going to do a job. You're going to put in 100%. You're going to make sure you play the game of your life every single game because that's the standard. That's what he wants at this club. That's what we need to get back to the top. And honestly, guys, I'm so happy because, as I've said in previous videos, the amount of suffering we've had to do with this side over the last couple of years or so, all of a sudden we're just in a different component. We're just in a different era, it seems. So I'm very happy with today's performance, guys. But let's get into the lineup. So it was David De Gea in net, Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka as the fullbacks, and then it was Maguire and Lindelof at the back. A combo I didn't want to see ever again, but we saw it today's game. That meant Lisandro Martinez was on the bench, got some minutes later on in the game, and Varane as well was also rested, which I think was a good decision, to be fair, because, you know, he may not be fully out of his injury. We know he's like glass, like every French player is, so it was good to rest him today in a game. We could have rested him, so I was happy with the rotation because we need to rotate, and some people are getting angry at this, some people are getting angry at the team lineup, but if you really deep it, if you really think about it, this is probably the type of game, if any game of the season, you're okay and no one's going to get that angry for dropping your key players and playing the likes of Maguire and Lindelof because you're going to get the job done anyway. Against Bournemouth. So that was a defence, and then it was Casemiro and Eriksen standing in the midfield, and then it was Bruno Fernandes, Rashford was back in the squad, and then it was Donny van de Beek as well, which was a strange one. He went off injured. Again, you got to feel bad for the guy, really do, but he might have to go in January or this transfer window, in my opinion, because he just doesn't seem like he's up to it at playing at Manchester United now with the amount of time he's had on the bench. And of course, Martial up front again, and we'll talk about him later. I didn't think he had the best of games, but that was the team lineup going into the game, and the game was just one-sided. There's no point even me going through the whole game because the first half we got the early goal through Casemiro. It was a bit slow the first half, bit slow paced. We should have been 2 or 3 up in the first half, to be fair. We had some good chances, but it was good to get the lead, and in the second half we just finished off the game. Shaw's goal was absolutely brilliant as well. To get that goals early on in the second half, the build-up play, as I've said, was brilliant. Garnacho, when he came on, was absolutely brilliant as well. Massive credit to him. Diego Dallo looked fresh when he came on, which is a good sign. Martinez got a few minutes. Fred came on as well. But yeah, I was really happy with the reaction from Garnacho as well. Coming on for injured Donny van de Beek, got straight stuck in, got into the game, and again he was very unlucky not to score. And he's only getting better and better as well with every single minute he gets in the game. So I was very happy with his performance there when he came on. He's gonna be a key player for us this season. So yeah, that was the game, and then of course the third goal wraps up with Marcus Rashford. 4 goals in 4 straight games. You know, he's just outstanding at the moment. I can't praise him enough. I can't tell you how happy I am for him as well, considering last season. And that man just doesn't know how to not score. You know, he just knows where the back of the net is at the moment. And I'm really loving it because he could have scored a few today as well. But yeah, 3-0, clean sheet again. That's 3 clean sheets in a row for David De Gea, who also was very good today. So overall, you have to be happy with this. There was no negatives from today's game. Full of positives. Even though the side wasn't what we were expecting, we got the job done. So let's go through the player ratings. David De Gea for me, I'm going to give David De Gea a solid 7. Solid 7 for me. Made 2 or 3 really superb saves. And again, this is David De Gea back at the top of his game. It really is, man. And, you know, I think he'd definitely relish getting 3 straight clean sheets in a row. I don't know the last time he had that, to be fair. And, you know, I don't know. I just think he's very happy now. He's got a solid base next to him with Varane and Martinez. He can finally rely on some centre-backs and some full-backs to not concede as many goals. So I was happy with him. I'll give him an 8. Luke Shaw today for me, absolutely brilliant, man. 2 really impressive games at centre-back. Slot straight into left-back, gets a goal, is crucial, and another one of the goals as well. So for me, Luke Shaw is just playing out the top of his game as well under Ten Hag so far this season. So for me, I'm going to give him an 8. Maguire and Lindelof can both get a 6, to be fair. Thought they did standard. Against Bournemouth, they didn't really create. We let them create too many chances, and that's what's going to happen. you know, the lack of pace in the midfield, the lack of intelligence, I mean, in the defence, the lack of intelligence in the defence as well, playing those two, they are going to get chances in the game, and luckily David De Gea was on it, so both of them get a 6, but we know where they're at, we know where they sit in this team, or in this squad at the moment. They're bench players at best. They can come in and do a job for these type of games, and they can still look shit like they did today. So, I mean, I'm not going to say shit because they weren't bad, but you know what I mean. Very, very poor. I shouldn't have allowed Bournemouth some of the chances, especially in the second half when they were getting back into the game. Wan-Bissaka, for me, gets a solid 6 today. Not one of his best games over the last couple of games or so, but wasn't too bad today. But again, a lot of things was coming down his end, and he was getting caught out a bit. So for me, I'm going to give Wan-Bissaka a 6. Casemiro, for me, gets a solid 8 as well. Absolutely brilliant again. To get a goal, he's deserved that for his last couple of performances. And I've always said, you know, he provides goals. He provides, you know, he can dribble up the pitch. He can defend. He can do absolutely everything you want a midfielder to do. And that's what makes him stand out from a lot of other players as well. But just watching Casemiro week in, week out, you just realise how good he is and how brilliant he is. And again, showing it today, absolutely brilliant. Eriksen created the first goal again, alongside Casemiro in the middle. It's just a breath of fresh air. It really is for us Manchester United fans. Again, slandered to... Went out of the game in the second half, to be fair. Didn't really notice him as much. But overall, you're going to get out of Eriksen at times with just who he is and what's happened to him. So I will give him a solid 7. So I thought he was really, really good. Rashford, again, wasn't really involved in the game too much, to be fair. But he got his goal in the end, at the end. And that's another big positive for him. Because even when you're not playing well, if you can find the back of the net, it just, you know, it just shows the form you're on at the moment. Yeah, you might not be involved in the game a lot. You might not get the assist you want. You might not get as many goals as you want, but you're going to get one if you keep on going for 90 minutes straight. So for me, Marcus Rashford, going to give him a 7 today. Martial, I'm going to give a 5. I thought Martial was very, very poor, and at the moment, he's not that Martial we need at this club. We need a sharp Martial. You know, he was trying to link up with Rashford today. It wasn't working. He was trying to get involved in the game. It wasn't working. I can't remember a clear-cut chance he got as well, and that's going to be a problem. And of course, he did go straight down the tunnel, so hopefully that's not a serious injury, but that's a bit of a concern from the game, that Martial is still not standing out. He still has a very good goals and assist ratio this season, but overall he's just not providing what we need at the moment, in my opinion. And then Donny van der Beek went off, had an okay game, so we'll give him a 5. I thought Garnacho was definitely a 7 when he came on. Bruno Fernandes, for me, was a bit sloppy today. A lot of passes were going to absolutely no one, to be fair. And he was just rushing things a bit, which is not like Bruno, to be fair. Well, it is, but it's not like how we've seen Bruno over the last couple of games or so, where he's just looked a lot better. He's just looked a lot more influential in that midfield. But, yeah, didn't have the best game today, so I will give him a 6. Fred did a good job when he came on. Diego Dallo, for the minutes he came on, was all right. Sandro Martinez as well, just getting back on the pitch is a major positive. So overall, guys, Erik ten Hag for me today gets a solid 8. Chose that team and it performed for him. And at the end of the day, that's all you can do. Trust in the manager, believe in this side, because at the moment we are going places at the moment, and that's all we can really hope for. And we just have to ride this wave that we're on, and hopefully it doesn't stop anytime soon. Because, you know, three games in a row now, 3 clean sheets. We're not conceding goals. We're playing some really good football, the best football I've seen us play in years, and I mean years, because we've had so much suffering. But it's good to see, guys. It's really good to see. Some tricky games coming up now. It was crucial we got 6 points from 6 from Wolves and Bournemouth. We've got that job done, and overall, guys, I'm really, really happy. But let me know what you guys think down below. My man in the match today. Oh, it's tricky. It really is. I'm gonna say Shaw. I'm gonna say Shaw. I thought Shaw was absolutely brilliant today. You could have said Garnacho when he came on, to be fair. I thought he was class. But overall, the 3 points is what matters. The clean sheet is what matters. And we got that. And now we move on to the Cups, which is also very, very important, guys. But make sure to smash a like on the video if you did enjoy this one. Subscribe down below, guys, if you are enjoying watching Manchester United at the moment. And also get involved in the comment section, guys. Be much appreciated. But that's me done, guys. I'm really happy, guys. What a way to end the night. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.